Hi everybody, Dave from Mahala's Astrology.com. Today I've making another video to tell you about a new report that's coming your way. This report is the Advanced Forecast Report. So many of you have already seen that posted for all of you already is the 1 year Cosmo Natal or Cosmo Forecast Report. That Cosmo Forecast Report is a whole bunch of different transits. It's this, if you looked at it, you probably read a little bit through it and didn't get far with it. It's 60, 70 to 100 pages long, depending on how many transits or how many aspects that you have for the coming year. Well, I went ahead and got another report generating software, which is the advanced software, which is a little bit more than that. But before rolling it out to you, I wanted to find a way to make that information a little bit easier to read, something that will help you enjoy this a little bit more throughout the year of your subscription. So to start with, what we're going to do is we're going to go look at this report and I'll show you what it is, and then I'll show you what I did for you. So let's go look at that report. Looking at that report, to get there, I have samples of all the reports right below the video on the subscription page. And so here is our character that has all the different reports, and we're going to go down and look for the advanced forecast. So this advanced forecast report right here, this particular report, notice at the top, this has 101 pages to it. This particular report basically goes through and presents all the aspects that are coming up for you for the entire year. So this particular report was run from June, so it started in May. And I'll scroll through, let's scroll down to current times, which would be the end of September. Here we are at the end of September. So basically, inside this report, you would find that there are aspects that basically, here's an aspect that happens for 3 days. So the peak of this aspect was on September 28th. The peak was at this particular time, and then it spanned from the 27th to the 29th, and the aspect was Mercury square Jupiter. Here's the little description to go with it. And if you notice, there's just paragraph after paragraph here of different aspects. What I've found is that I've generated this report for you, and so all of you have this now. You can go download it, you can go print it out, you can put it in a binder and track this on a regular basis. But I wanted to make this a little bit easier for you. So what I did was I spent a few days and I created some code that goes in for everybody that got a report. It's going to go and parse this report, and it's going to pull out the aspects that are appropriate for the next week. And I want to show you in this report, it's going to be a smaller report that'll show you the transits that are coming up for the week. And what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to plan on running this every week for 52 weeks for each one of us, or for the rest of our subscriptions, so that you get a transit report for the week. Let me show you what that looks like. So here is one of those sample reports. So this particular one, Joe's report for the week of September 30th through October 6th, has a number of aspects in it. We could go back to the big report and we could go look for all those aspects. Here's a first, here's a first, here's a second, here's a second, here's a third. We can go read each one of those, or you can simply take a look at the weekly report that covers all these. And what I did was, at the top, you'll see that this report was generated by parsing your advanced forecast report. So all of you that have this will get this weekly report. It's going to specify the time frame. And in the title of it too, it's going to specify the time frame. So when you say it'll be the week for, in this case, September 30th, and then the next week will be 7 days later. What I did with these reports to make them useful is that I split them up into 4 different categories. Influences contained within the week. So there's a bunch of short aspects that happen for a couple days, like Mercury being square the moon, or Mercury sextile Neptune, like it shows here in this report. And so all those aspects are within the week, and I put the day that is peaking. So you can clearly see that for Joe, he's got 2 aspects on Monday, another 2 aspects on Tuesday, he's got another aspect on Wednesday, that are all happening within this week, peaking in this week. And what I did is I color coded these. So anything that is of the most importance for the week, I put them in this yellow background. And then the second category is influences starting this week. So now there's aspects that might happen. So notice here, this one's 5 days in length. And here's one that's 54 days in length. These aspects are starting this week and they're going to span multiple weeks. So they're going to show up in multiple charts. And so here it gives you that aspect that, oh, look at all these things that are starting. Mars is going into the 10th house. And in this particular case, and it's going to be there for 54 days. And each report that comes out, if the energies are building up to the peak day, I wrote down the word strengthening. If we're past the peak day and we're dropping down in strength, I'm going to put out the word weakening. And so cover all those influences. Influences ending this week. You'll see that there were some aspects that started last week that are ending this week. And so here we've got 3 aspects. One of them, which peaked on the first day of the report, which is important. And then 2 that carried over for last week. One was 10 days long and the other one was 20 days. So it's been in a couple of reports. And then the last one is influences spanning the entire week. So notice here that you'll find transits that are fairly long. That here's one that's 144 days long, where Neptune is quincunx Pluto. So this particular aspect, when you get your weekly reports, you're going to find that for each week of that 144 days, this aspect's going to be there. So you're going to see this in these reports. And I'm not going to highlight it in yellow because it's an underlying influence. You're going to see it there. So when you get these reports, you're going to be able to quickly be able to figure out which aspects are new for this particular week. As you can see, the ones that are in yellow here. And what's kind of cool about this is each one of these weekly reports, as I've parsed them over and validated that my code was working properly, each one of these reports, I generally get 12 to 16 aspects that are pertinent for the week. And when I asked a couple of people to review this for me, I asked them to go look at their full report, which is this report, to go find those aspects that were appropriate for the week, and they couldn't find them all. So I'm really excited to be able to present you this information in this way. This is something that I find is kind of unique. It should be something that I don't know of anybody else do anything like this. I know that sites report transits that are interesting for people, but these are your transits. They're based on your report. Only you have this information. Anyway, that's the update that I wanted to give you for today. I've got a couple more reports that are in the works, but I'm going to put up videos before I get to those. So I'm going to post these for you. I've got a write-up. I'm going to include this in Mahala's next major email. And let me know what you think about this. I was really excited to be able to code this up and put it together just for you. Anyway, I look forward to your feedback. Talk to you soon.